Hello and welcome back to another Middling Mondays, pushing up these days in the ranks of skill. We've got Jones fighting Guru Skippy. Not really your typical Middling Mondays player, but he's going to be here anyway. Because he's up against Jones, and Jones is not really proven himself yet, but maybe this will be the replay that he proves himself in. Jones is rocking that Apo, rocking the Sanguine Chainsword and those beautiful, strange, yellowy searchlight things on the side of his back there. Very unusual, but very beautiful nonetheless. You're a beautiful fella, Apo. We love you. Tactical Marine's already out with double scouts. Opposing him is the rather conventional Ravener Alpha double Termagant build from Guru Skippy. Now the map is Paletooth Gorge, and we've got a very interesting looking garrison here. I swear to God it does not look like that on Greentooth Gorge. Has it been elongated? It just seems taller. Does it normally have the facial structure? I don't know. Anyhow, Guru's been very cheeky, being very aggressive with his Ravener Alpha and his tunnel positioning, and he's going for the decap straight away in the node, but Jones is privy. He caught that shit and he noded it, so he couldn't get the decap. So it's kind of uneventful for the Ravener Alpha. He's sort of wasting time. Hormagaunts are on the other side of the map, just beating up some scouts. It's alright, they didn't lose any models. It's always good if you don't lose any models. Alright, so there's not really any major engagements yet, it's just skirmishing with the scouts, really. Guru is getting the better end of these engagements in terms of the map control, but it's to be expected. You know, he's got the advantage here. His units are faster. He got his 4 units out faster than the 4 units come out for the Space Marines. And, you know, Ravener has tunnels. Actually getting a full cap on the natural breakpoint of Jones. You're flexing, mate. You're flexing. And then again, I say that, these guys just don't give a shit. They're just completely ignoring one another. Tactical Marines are decapping the natural wreck of Guru. Now, Guru could do with making a tunnel. Is he coming over to do that? Oh. I don't know if I'd have made it there. I mean, I guess that works, kind of, but what I'd have done is I'd have come here, made one here, and then made one in the corner. That'd have been pretty cool.
The enemy has destroyed one of our structures.
So the scouts are now pushing back out. Getting a little bit of map control back. Wow, I can't believe they actually killed a Hormagaunt there, what the fuck? It was like one last ball. Out of perhaps a volley of 30 or something, and it managed to actually kill them. Now the Tactical Marines are bashing. This is a really weird game. They're just completely ignoring one another's main armies. But not now, the Raveners are out. Raveners burrow onto the Tactical Marines, force melee, they're going to lose that fight. I'm pretty sure Tactical Marines can't even beat Raveners in melee on their own, never mind when there's double Termagants nearby. Well, of course the Apo heal helps a bit, but yeah. It's really decisive victory for the Raveners, that one. It'd be really good if the Apo can get a kill on the Ravener models. It'd be funny. ISMs are out now, they'll handle those beating up Hormagaunts. Now, how is Guru going to be able to handle these assault Space Marines? Because at the moment he's only got Hormagaunts. Now obviously he can focus fire them down with all the ranged troops, but it's not going to be ideal. I don't think the Apo is actually in cover here. He's in range stance bleeding Termagants, but he's definitely wasn't in cover, taking all that damage. The problem is that there's only the Hormagaunts that are a melee squad at the moment. Now you could get some melee upgrades in the Ravener Alpha. It'd be interesting to see if he actually goes for that. I probably would. Or of course he could just wait for a Warrior Brood, which would also be a pretty good idea. Especially since the Ravener Alpha himself doesn't provide any synapse early on. Took a while to take down this tunnel. I guess scouts were more preoccupied with capping. Bad spot for this Marine, he might die. Now Raveners don't bother to melee, so he lives. There's not been a whole lot of bleed. I'm not even sure if Jones has lost any models yet, but what I just noticed now is it seems he's got no gens. I didn't realise that. That's kind of bad. He should have way more power than he does right now, but he's had no gens. He's going for rights, which is cool. It basically makes the Hormagaunts useless. They're just going to drop all their HP as soon as they engage the ASM. Sanguine Trainsword could be quite good as here as well, because there's a lot of ranged units. Sanguine really bullies ranged units. Oh my god, lots of kills there. Not a lot of XP, surprisingly. It's been very evenly distributed between all the Space Marine squads. What about the XP on these guys? They've killed something, clearly, because they do have a bit of XP. Maybe about a couple of scouts have died? I don't think any heavy infantry marines have died. The ASM are just going to scale so well here. He needs to get something to deal with them. Oh, nice. He has actually gone for Sanguine. I like it. Cool. This is really ill-advised. Why are you just depositing all of your range blob on top of his rights? No. That was like the most high-value rights there was. Oh my god, look at all the bleed. Then the APO levels up thanks to all the bleed. Surprise, surprise. The ASM are already in melee. Yeah, you don't want that. He's lost a Ravener. That's really bad. Losing a Ravener is like losing a tactical marine. Those fuckers are so expensive. I don't know why the APO didn't just melee the Ravener. Because with Sanguine, he'd just been able to 1v1 him forever and never lose any HP. Weird. I guess Jones really just wants the bash right now. Yeah, clearly he does. He's buying a flamethrower, so he wants all of his primary fighting assets in this corner. It is annoying though, because now the Ravener can just fuck up the scouts, whereas otherwise you'd have had all three of these points. I don't know, I guess there's no way he'd get the bash if the Ravener wasn't here. He might still get it now, because of the rice. Yeah, look at that damage on the Horms, man. Just need to retreat the APO now. Yeah, he's going to get the bash, it looks like. Ooh, brutal spike damage there. Because he doesn't want to jump them, because he knows he's going to be in range of the node then, so yeah, it's pointless. But he actually gets the bash. Really nice play. He should just retreat, yeah. Don't want to get knocked over and potentially lose a model then after the knockback. So it looks like, yeah, Guru was flaying a little bit, not too much, just 20 power. Jones is still a way off because he was so late to drop his own gens. I just had the strangest urge to sneeze. Wow. Fortunately, I'm a really pro caster now, so I just hit that Control and M and muted the microphone and sneeze regardless. You guys didn't even get to know about it. Fucking next level technology shit, that, innit? That's how we do it in Leeds 2021. Bad man things, yeah? Alright. Let's see how this is progressing. I really hope that Guru is going to get some Gene Stealers because of how much he's floating Requisition and how he just doesn't have any sort of counter to the ASM right now. I think Genes would be fucking awesome. Other than that, I don't really care what he gets. I just really hope he gets Genes. I think he is really missing the lack of Warriors. I think Warriors would have done great things for his tier 1. I mean, he's barely even got a victory lead. He actually, prior to this point here, was behind on VPs somehow. Not good as Tyranids. Right now, he's got no gens either. Okay, yeah, he's getting Gene Stealers. That's cool. You see that? Oh, what? He's going for Brennan Brood? No, no, Guru, don't do it. It's not the correct choice. I wonder if that's because he wants the range synergy with all these range units, or if he actually fears that he's behind in tech now with the gem bashing, and that he's scared if he doesn't get the Venom Brood, he won't be able to deal with any vehicles. But he should know. He bashed a lot of gens, and he really delayed Jones putting up the gens in the first place. So he should know he doesn't need to be worrying about a vehicle yet. That said, it won't be long until Jones can get a vehicle, to be honest. He has hit tier 2 now. Could already get a Razorback. Not the best retreat path for the Termagants, doesn't matter too much. He actually spent 35 power, I think it's 35 power, either 35 or 30, on the damage synapse for the Ravener Alpha. I don't know how worth it that is. In fact, I really don't like that. Like, sure, that's a fantastic upgrade overall, but compositionally, you're just in a shit position right now, because what do Termagants and Hormagaunts do against upgraded APO, Tax, and ASM? Nothing. And even if you add a damage synapse, it doesn't make them win that fight. You need new units that can actually handle that. You need Gene Stealers or Adrenal Gland Warrior Brood. So yeah, he's in an awkward spot, and I guess I was going to question the fact that the Dreadnought's coming out even though he's just seen a Venom Brood, but I guess it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's just one Venom Brood, you just jump it with the ASM, right, and then send the Dreadnought in. Now, of course, the Ravener Alpha himself can get that Corrosive Devourer, which does okay damage against vehicles. It's got a passive modifier to do more than normal against them with the normal attacks, even though it's a plasma weapon, which does bonus against heavy infantry against Space Marines. So you can imagine that's a pretty good gun against Space Marines. And then it has an ability to do even more as well. So you definitely can count that as hard AV. But you see the problem right now, the fucking ASM and tax are just like solo in the army. There isn't even a tactical sergeant here. See, the problem is you get tactical sergeant and then they do not lose the fight against Raveners in melee. And then you're in a real tricky spot. ASM are doing really good. Quite ballsy to stay in there, but man, he's making it work. This is brutal. He's actually going to be able to heal them again. Could do with getting the Armor of Purity at this point on the APO as a priority upgrade. More heals would be really nice. God, and Guru dropped the 3 gens and he's losing 2 of them straight away. He can't even afford to reinforce his Ravener. Okay, this is a mistake. He's going in now. He doesn't have the heal or a jump and he's not seen the Gene Stealers. Oh, this is the power of Gene Stealers, man. They're really, really, really good glass cannons. Oh my god, look at these little shits. Rip up that APO and then rip up an ASM model. But they're walking into a Dreadnought. They don't want to do that. The problem, of course, is that he's on his own with the Dreadnought now and he knows there's a Venom Brood lurking around. Be interesting to see what he does. He probably will keep the Dreadnought melee mode, given the Gene Stealers have been spotted. But an assault cannon wouldn't be bad either. If you get like shotguns on your scout squad, or you get a Devastator squad, it'd be quite cool. Use the Devastator defensively to protect the Dreadnought from melee basically, and anything coming too close. And if you suppress the Venom Brood, then you can just counter with Assault Barrage. Obviously, if you can hit Assault Barrage and retreating Tyrannid units, you can often just outright wipe them. But instead he's opted for the tack squad, dropped in by the drop pod. Because he's going for Sergeant first, I assume he's getting Stern Guard, which is not a bad idea. Wait, what? That's weird. Has he gone double Sergeant? Oh no, Jones, what are you doing? Jones! Fuck me, man. He's upgrading his level 3 flame attacks with Stern Guard, which will reset them to level 1, and getting the plasma gun on the new squad. No, Jones. Ah, man. He's playing solid here until he made that. That was a schoolboy error. So now he's got level 1 plasma attacks and level 1 Stern Guard. Obviously, he should have swapped his flame attacks to plasma. Then he'd have level 3 plasma attacks, which would fucking rape the Venom Brood. And then he'd have level 1 Stern Guard, which are fine to kill the new seals with Hellfire, but whatever. He kind of fucked that one up, but, you know. He's still in a sound position compositionally. I just would like to see a Heavy Bolt or Devastator, really. I think it'd be very good defensively. Just help you protect the natural VPs, like, place it around here, stop the Hormagaunts from being so annoying, place it in the mid, and zone out units for tying up the Dreadnought, and then you can actually justify getting the Assault Cannon Dreadnought, which will actually bleed the Tyranids by bleeding the Raveners and the... Oh my god. Why does it do this to me so fucking often? This is the first game I've casted in a week. Fuck you, Steam. Alright guys, I'm back. I think we're at something like this. I just freaked out about the fact that he was going for Stern Guard on his upgraded level 3 Tactical Marine Squad, not his new one. Now I've left that open, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm not reloading the game again. Ah, wow. This is just so annoying. Watch me get a sound bug now. Watch me get a fucking sound bug before this replay can even end. Good God. You see, frustrating things like this is what makes casting Dawn of War 2 so difficult. Why then do I have to spend a whole 3 minutes getting to the same position in the replay? Why can't I just fast forward to the same spot? No, because it's an archaic RTS replay system. This, guys, is why I'd really appreciate your support for me casting these videos. If you could just do whatever you can, donate £1 a month to get access to my OnlyFans, it'd be so beneficial. If you just look in the description below, there'll be a link to that where you can support me. and ensure the growth of this channel continues. Regardless, let's continue our analysis of the gameplay, shall we? Sternguard are sitting in green cover, utilising Hellfire rounds to kill Gene Stealers and other Tyrannid monstrosities. There is nothing that Guru Skippy can do. He's a little bit base-locked right now. He's only got one source of AV, which isn't enough to take on the Dreadnought. Guru seems fucked. Really though, Guru has only really got one option at this point, because typically you wouldn't have lost all of your gens because you'd been far enough ahead to prevent that. Therefore, you'd be able to take to tier 3 off of the back of the New Stealers and the Venom Brood, and just get a Carnifex out and try and kill the bloody Dreadnought with that, but he's lost so many gens that he can't even do that at this point. And that puts him in an awful spot. He has to double down on tier 2, but my god, Plasma Tactical Marines and Sternguard in green cover with an Apo regen aura? Yeah, you're not going to outshoot that, you need to be that in melee. And he doesn't have the Adrenal Gland Warrior Brood, so he's going to have a problem doing that. He can't afford the Adrenal Gland Warrior Brood because they're too much power. Basic Warriors are 25 power, and then the Adrenal Glands upgrade, I think it's 30? Something like that. He's nowhere near it. So he's in a bit of trouble, really. Now, he's getting a cheeky little gem bash off with the Hormagaunts, which is cool. That stops Jones getting to tier 3, because if Jones does get to tier 3, suffice to say Guru is truly fucked. And a short while ago he did manage to snag one of the scout squads as well, so that helps him out of his map control. I really think Jones should just play defensively now. Get a heavy bolt of dev, pack it up here, get an assault cannon dread, and just keep harassing this side with your scouts using elite training for the infiltration. And send the tax and the ASM up this side constantly. They'll be immovable. If a big army comes to attack it, you just fall back to the Dreadnought. And then the Dreadnought, if it gets compromised, can just fall back to the devs. You set up all these like zones of control. Stimulants, okay. That's interesting. I don't dislike stimulants against Nids. Obviously the damage resistance is really cool on ASM in big fights. And just having pure damage increases on either Sternguard or the Plasma Tax is really damn strong. You can see that the Tyrannid ranged blob just can't do jack shit against the Apo, Sternguard and Plasma Tax. And these are level 1 Plasma Tax when they're meant to be level 3 as well, so yeah. He is kind of fucking up by just allowing these Hormagaunts to destroy all of his gens, but Jones is not bleeding anything. He's not got any upgrades on his scouts, and he's basically not losing models now. He lost like, what, 1 Sternguard in 2 engagements, where he's dominated the Nids. And that means that he's just got a shitload of money. He's even got good map control now. I honestly don't really see how this game is even going to go on much longer, because Jones's composition is just so much stronger right now. Yeah, you built some Rippers, and that's cool. You type the ranged blob. Oh, double Gene Stealers, right, okay. I mean, I can see how it goes wrong now for Jones, potentially. It doesn't take... Oh, God. Are they not going to lose a model? Seriously? Wow. Space Marine's so broken. I was going to say, it doesn't really take much to lose units against Gene Stealers, especially double Gene Stealers, but yeah. Apparently you do have to sort of have a coma mid-game if you want to lose your ASM against them. What level are those ASM? They're only level 2 as well, so they're not even that tanky. Jeez. I mean, Guru's got the map back now, but he really needs gens. Because Jones is actually somehow getting to tier 3, which is crazy. Very, very conservative use of this Dreadnought. Not necessarily a bad thing. He is going tier 3 now, so he needs to prioritise the gen farm being protected, because he's going to need that power. No matter what he wants in tier 3, as Space Marines, it costs quite a lot of power. Ripper's just providing free XP to the Marines. See how fast they fall. No melee synapse, you see. Yeah. Really, really, really missing the Adrenal Gland Warriors. I think Guru definitely should have got Warriors in tier 1. He's missing them massively. Dreadnought's a bit cautious here, as he should be. Corrosive Terror plus the Venom Brood is pretty scary. Gene Stealers finally come out of infiltration in the mid. kind of getting bullied by the Apo right now. Yeah, he doesn't want to stay in there once he's used his heal though. Scout's actually getting forced off by Rippers. Must have been going for the decap. Alright, Guru's doing a good job normalising the map control. I'm just worried Jones is just going to get Terminators and then... it's risky. Obviously Gene Stealers can kill Terminators, but the problem is that the Dreadnought's still around and it's in melee mode, so... all he has to do is stand near the Terminators, and then what the fuck are you going to do? Terminators beat you at range, you try and kill them in melee, and the Dreadnought beats down your ass. It's rough. Dreadnought. Well, I was going to say Dreadnought needs to engage here if he's going to take the fight, but then he just retreats his ASM out, so now he just needs to retreat everything. Yeah, that's fine. It's an acceptable level of play if you don't want that engagement. Kind of irking me that he didn't actually heal those tactical marines. I guess he's just going to keep him in base and heal him up that way. Perhaps Jones is wondering what he should go for in terms of units. I mean, a tank would not be bad. My only concern is that there's only one repair unit on the field at the moment. So if it gets a bad engagement and like Rippers flank it, it could be quite awkward. And in theory, you can use the Dreadnought to bait all the AV damage out by just forcing melee on the Venom Brood, and then just, you know, move the tank in burst, shoot your shell, move back, shoot your shell, move back, and just bleed the enemy down. But yeah, you can imagine if you get flanked, that could turn the game on its head. Apo always the one to go for the caps in mid, rather interestingly. Is he going to notice? Nope, Apo falls. Not a big deal. He's going for the Pred so he doesn't need the red. So he can just use Larimer's Blessing to get it back for free. Does win the ranged firefight, but I think... oh, I was going to say it cost him 3. No, it didn't. It just cost him 2 Stern Guard. I mean, that's not ideal, but he won the firefight, so who cares? I mean, it did cost him more. But he does want to have control of the VPs at this point. VPs are surprisingly even at this stage in the game, and of course, when you're fighting against the Revenant Alpha, it's never easy to get a lead in VPs. So I would be trying to focus VPs loads if I was Jones at this point. They'd be a real concern of mine. You can destroy the tower? Go on, get your free XP. Now Guru, in this meantime, while he's had control of the centre of the map, has chosen to replace these generators. It's a wise choice, and he's going tier 3. I guess tier 3 is the only real option he has. I don't know what else he could get in tier 2. He could maybe get a couple of Tyrant Guards and just start spamming even more Rippers, and maybe something could come of that. But in theory, if Jones plays his Predator perfectly, then that won't really matter. Sengar trying to rush to the garrison, but they're not going to make it in time. They're going to have to retreat. And I think the Predator needs to come over here and deal with these Gene Stealers, because he can't afford to start losing VPs. Hormiguns should probably just be going for the VP rather than the wreck point. Yeah, those Genes need to get out of there. They're just so fragile. Like, they do huge damage, but they're really fragile when they're outside of Synapse. That's why they're cheap, though. So it'll be interesting to see what Guru's going to go for in tier 3. Carnifex are notoriously power hungry, which is meant to be compensated for by the fact that Tyranids themselves in tier 2 aren't power hungry, but it doesn't matter if your race isn't power hungry if you've had no power for most of the game. And that's the situation Guru finds himself in. And we see Jones doing the tactic here where the Dreadnought pushes up and eats most of the AV because it's more of an immediate threat if it gets into melee, whilst the Predator just follows suit and just slowly chips away at the Tyranid forces. These vehicles are slowly just building up more and more XP. If you can snag the scouts, that'd be really nice. Ooh, Hormigut's probably going to wipe. I know, he's shooting the tower instead for some reason. A bit odd, but okay. More XP for the Stern Guard. I guess Guru's only hope at this point is to get a Carnifex and make it Venom Cannon, take out these vehicles, but honestly, now there's even Vanguard veterans, I don't see what he can fucking do here. Without Adrenal Gland Warriors, so you actually have melee Synapse, these Gene Stealers are just going to get fucked over. Look at how much that Predator did in damage. Now the Vanguard are onto the... Oh no, they're not shooting the Venom Brood. They need to be attacking the Venom Brood. Doesn't really matter. There's just too much HP from the SM things. Very desperate trying to formation. And a rather pointless Angels of Death as well. And Jones just completely face tanks it. The Fex is coming out, but to be honest, there's not a lot of VPs left. Now, he is going to decap the mid, and he's got this side, but where's the Stern Guard? Did they retreat? Oh no, they're over here. Yeah, Jeans... Yeah, okay, Jeans are dead. Hormagaut's forced off in the mid, and there's no time. Yeah, he's just going to lose on VPs, this Guru. Before the Carnifex can even come out. I don't think the Carnifex would have done that much. Well, maybe, because these vehicles are quite damaged now, but Jones could easily enough just buy a Devastator team and make a las cannon, so I think Guru was pretty screwed at that point. Well played to Jones, he actually managed to pull it off against obviously quite an experienced player here, Guru Skippy. Not necessarily known for his Ravener Alpha plays, but nonetheless a high level player. So kudos to Jones. Only really one fatal error from Jones. I mean, he did let Guru get on the gem farm quite a few times, and early on in tier 1, his gen farm was super delayed, so that was a big error. I don't know exactly why that happened. There must have been a few little positional problems that caused that, but the only other major error I seen was going for the plasma gun on the fresh squad and not the level 3 ones. That was obviously quite a large error, but it didn't really matter in the end. Ended up with level 3 Stern Guard regardless. Level 2 tactical race not so good. Probably would have got level 4 otherwise. Level 4 plasma gun attacks are stupid good against Nids. On Guru's side, I mean, look, he got the Genius Stealers, that's what I wanted to see. I think that did a lot better than Tyrant Guard ever would have done on the Zone Thrope. But by just not having Adrenal Gland Warriors to support them, they were really lackluster. They're good as an ambush unit, but you're fighting Space Marines who like to blob up and have a lot of HP. They just couldn't get their DPS out in time, and they were just getting comboed with knockback and stuns, and yeah. You need your Dream Gland Warriors. I would have liked to have seen Warrior Brood coming out from Guru Skippy in tier 1, and I don't like how fast he went for this damage aura. I think getting a better composition would have been better. The Venom Brood clearly didn't pay off as well. Purchasing them first was odd. I mean, it would have made sense if Guru thought that there was a Razorback coming out earlier on than when it did, and he probably did. But that's poor game timing on his behalf. He should have known that Jones was really delayed in putting down his gen farm, and he purchased a fair bit of war gear, so he was going to be ahead in tech was Guru. The other thing I'd like to point out is Sanguine Chainsword. I really liked this purchase in this game. It's brilliant, seeing that Guru didn't have a lot of melee options that can bully you down, and not a lot of fierce melee options, not having the control of the warrior knockback leap in tier 1. And the Ravener Alpha himself doesn't really have many control tools either. He doesn't have the knockback from the Rending Talons of the Hive Tyrant, obviously doesn't have the pull and knockback from the Flesh Hook of the Lictor Alpha, so it makes a Sanguine Chainsword APO in tandem with your ASM really fucking annoying to deal with when you don't have a lot of melee. Very nicely played. Thank you for tuning in, guys. That was another Middling Mondays. Torpid out.